a great visitor, a great guest, and her name is Purity, but she can identify herself. Hello, my good people. This is Jeffrey Kimayo Somba on the spheres of life, and today we are handling some of the things that we find held in the big sphere of life. And today we are having a great visitor, a great guest, and her name is Purity, but she can identify herself to the audience. Welcome, Purity.
Well, thank you so much, Jeff. It's a pleasure being here.
Yes.
So my name is Purity, a psychologist and a community developer, and I'm really glad to be in these spheres of life.
Yeah.
I mean, life is something so precious, and we need to talk about it.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So today, by audience, today we want to talk about spheres of life. And spheres of life and those different and hard issues that we find in life, and maybe some of the things that we find are so difficult for people to handle, and maybe from the grassroots, from maybe in urban areas, and some of the centers that we find people engaging with each other. So today, I want us to handle some of the things that maybe look so challenging to people, and maybe when the challenge comes to them, it will look so hard to them that they don't find a solution, they don't get anything that is great unto them. When I was young, our parents could send us during the darkness of the night, and maybe because you are scared, you are frightened, you see a stump on the road or on the small route and path that you are following. And when you bump onto the stump, you may run because you fear. You don't know what you're fearing because everything that is before you looks so strange to you. It looks, maybe it is wild to you. It looks dreadful. Maybe it's so dangerous to you, maybe when you find it or when you face it. So today, then after you fear, you run back to the house.
Of course, you have to run back.
And because there is the expectations of the parents of whatever they had sent you, you go empty-handed. And maybe you may face a punishment because whatever the parent expected you to do, you did not achieve. So today, because that was a change, because whenever you see something strange before you, you have to fear. You have to be frightened. You have to get scared. You have to run away, actually. Most of the times you have to run away.
And even lose your shoes.
Yes, and you lose your shoes, and maybe you'll be beaten. Beaten up because you are giving another budget to your parents. You've not got what they had sent you. So because when we are walking on the way and the path that we were sent to, maybe you expected the way to be streamlined, to have no strange things on the way. You ran fearing. So you never expected something like that on the way.
Very sure.
So because of that, you change back to going home. You change the decision, you change the plan that was set unto you. So today, my good people, we are talking about, our topic is so much interesting. It is a topic that you are going to understand, that you are going to make you understand. It is a topic that is going to enlighten you. It is a topic that is going to make light into your life. The topic is so much interesting. It is going to make you grow. It is going to make you avoid the strange things that maybe you may find in life. So our topic today is change. Our topic today again is change, my good audience. So our guest today is Purity, as I had mentioned earlier. So Purity, what do you understand by change?
Well, as you have explained, change can be transitional. Because what you've given as an example, a child being sent, and then you reach on the path, and then you decide to go back because of fear. That's transition. Because your aim was going to the shop, but after a few circumstances, you decide to transition back to going back. You know, so it's a transition of events. It can be personal, and also it can be gradual or sudden. It's something sudden, meaning like it's something that you have not planned for. It just comes automatically. And it can also be like planned.
Yes.
You can just be going and then maybe you remember there's something maybe you ought to have to done before going. So you decide to go back.
Okay.
So change can be planned. It can be sudden. It can be gradual.
Yes.
So it's that transition. It's a process. Yeah.
Now, maybe there is someone watching us maybe who maybe has not picked exactly what transition means. Can you briefly tell us what transition, or can you enlighten our audience what transition may mean?
Transition can mean like, okay, it's still change.
Yes.
I don't know how to put it, but it's still change. Like moving from one state to another state.
Yeah, that is something that our audience can understand.
Yeah.
It may also mean shifting from one place to another, or shifting from a situation to another.
To another situation.
Yeah, so that's a great explanation and divination of the word change. And the reason as to why we are bringing this topic today to our audience is because people fear transition.
Yeah.
People are so afraid of changing because maybe people fear change because they feel like today I'm in this state, but something is actually gradually or in a speedy way changing. Yeah. So how do I adjust? How do I adapt to these changes? So thank you so much, Purity. So can we find, what are the types of changes that we can experience in life?
Well, we have quite a lot of changes, but we have transformational change. Yes. We have destructive change. We have developmental change. Yes. So when we come to transformational, these are changes that take part in our personal lives, in our corporate world, in even our environment, in our society. So maybe we are transforming from, I was a student, now I'm transforming to a
parent, to a lecturer,
to a married woman, you know. So many things transform in our lives. Yes. Destructive are these changes that come with maybe loss of a loved one, or maybe you've lost a job, you're financially unstable, you had money, but right now you don't have that money. That is now destructive. Okay. So these changes, like, they happen to us as people, and well, it's life.
It's life, I understand.
And change needs to come.
That's very true. Now, suppose we tell our audience that destructive change is the same as disruptive change. Can it mean the same?
Destructive and disruptive. Well, it can be the same because destructive
and disruptive.
Yes. Destructive, let's put it in a way like, right now we are having a lot of rains, we are having a lot of floods, and we are having a lot of chaos on the roads because of rains. Yes. I've seen other people using boats on the road. I'm like, you see, now, that's a disruption. Yeah. You know, that's a disruption to the country and to us as people. Yes. Now, destructive is now when we, for example, as I had given, a loss of a loved one. Yes. When somebody dies in the family, so many things are distracted. Like maybe that person was the breadwinner of the family. Now the family needs to know how they're going now to get the bread again. It's already a destructive to the family. Okay. So that is now where the difference comes.
So does this mean that it being destructive, it destroys the pattern of that family because maybe they are adapted or they are fit into a certain streamlined procedures and processes in their life that when maybe a loved one goes or they lost their loved one, does it mean there's something that is cut off so that we can call it destructive?
Yeah, of course there's something cut off. Let's say a person who has lost their dad and the dad was the breadwinner. Yeah. Now, they need not to like adjust to the newness of life because this person is no longer there. Yeah. And maybe let's take an example of a family where the dad was the breadwinner, the mama is a housewife and the children are not working. Yeah. So you see now, these people need now to learn how to adjust without this person. Either they go look for work so that they can survive or they suffer. Okay. Yeah.
I understand you. So maybe one of us, those who are watching us today, maybe one is faced by the change of distraction, if we may call it distraction. Yeah. Because maybe it has destroyed maybe a pattern in their moods and maybe in the way they live and maybe their livelihoods and lifestyles. So how is someone supposed to adjust to that kind of change?
Well, I think for me, the best thing you can do, talk to somebody, either a mentor, a counselor, and a friend whom you trust, And maybe like just look for somebody you can talk to.
Yes.
Because once you put things in your mind and your heart, they kind of hurt you.
Yeah,
so
true.
for you to bring out this change, talk to somebody, because releasing things out of ourselves brings some kind of change, because you've released the toxic things that are inside you, things that are destructive, things that are eating you up. So when you get a good counselor, a mentor, a coach, or a psychologist or a therapist, that can really help.
Yeah, but there's someone who is watching us and saying that, how can I get this psychologist? Because maybe they may ask for charges for us, for them to advise or even to lift our souls after going through this kind of challenging and kind of, maybe it looks like a drama, because sometimes to transition from a livelihood that you've been walking through, and maybe you're transitioning and shifting to another life. There are some processes and some things that take through here. So someone will ask, how do I afford a psychologist? How do I advise? How do I get a counselor? Because maybe the charges are too high for me to afford one.
Well, counseling is not a joke. It's not like cheap, because of course you need to pay for sessions. I, as a psychologist, you just can't take people in to counsel them with that, because maybe that is their source of income.
True.
But also we have people out here. We have free counseling actually out here in societies. I think there are so many groups that do mentorship, that do free counseling. But I can't promise that you can get it for free. But if you get people who are mature enough, like mentors, mentors and coaches are there. Like when I tell you to be my mentor, you don't expect me to pay you for you to be my mentor.
That's true.
So we can look for, there are so many ways to talk to people. But also the people we want to talk to needs also to like be willing to talk
open
to
up,
us.
Awesome.
So counseling might be expensive, but there are other means other than counseling.
But maybe, good people are still there. They can talk to you, they can lift you up, they can encourage you, they can give you hope still in the future life that we are still expecting. And that is what that's what we are doing here on Spheres of Life, because we find that most of the counselors and psychologists that we have are so expensive.
Well, they're very expensive, but I'm a product of mentors. And well, I think I got, as you're saying, there are good people out here. And for me, I got a counselor who has never charged me even for a single session.
Oh, that is great.
For even
That's
a single
great.
session. And we worked together for like a year, going for therapy, going for sessions. So yeah, there are good people out here. So you don't have to struggle. And as you usually say, financial status should not be always your problem.
That's true.
There's always a solution beyond finances.
That's true. That's very true. Now, still on the destructive change, we are people who are very low. Maybe when it comes to finances, maybe after a destruction, maybe the destruction looked like maybe someone loved one died, a loved one died in the course of the day or in the course of their living. Now, maybe some people find it so hard maybe to do a great send-off to their loved ones. And maybe now that brings another, maybe you've been living so lowly as far as finances are concerned. Today you are struck by something so strange that you've never found this one in your life. And today now you are again faced by a budget of giving a great send-off to your loved one. What can someone do?
Well, one, funerals and deaths were not meant to be so expensive. I think in the past world, people used to just be wrapped
in
like
sacks or cloths.
The current general, he has just been wrapped.
So do you want to mean if it happens like that one, like that way, the person or the people who are affected by the same, will they still be comfortable even after laying their loved one to
Work with
rest?
what you have. Work with what you have.
Okay,
you can't budget for an expensive funeral. Why should you do such an expensive thing which will not even be beneficial to anybody?
So this is to me that you are not supposed to stretch beyond your strength. Okay, that's a good piece. And from there, my guest, we are going to, what now as we're living, what may cause changes? Because this life is broad, this life is great, and maybe immediately after this, you don't know what happens next. So what may bring changes in the life that we are living today?
Well, changes can be brought about by so many things.
Yes.
One, it can be technological advances,
yes.
like nowadays.
Yeah.
So many changes have taken place. Look at our world right now.
Yes.
We all have like smartphones, and there's this
iPhone. You call it iPhone nowadays, eh?
Like there's a lot of things that are happening.
Yes.
Right now, we don't see our children playing with other children.
Yeah.
Every child is always like
on a gadget.
Games. So there's no that social life for children that they need to know. I need to go play with a certain child.
Yes.
We need to talk about something. We need to watch cartoon together. All the children now, all in gadgets. So that is a very, it's a very anonymous change that has taken place.
Now, so let's pick something from the technological changes and advancements.
Okay.
What are the effects of technology, maybe in us and maybe in the children that we are bringing up?
Okay, for the changes, there are so many negatives, and also there are so many
Let me hear the negative, because most of the times we pick the positives and we leave the negative, because maybe a negative thing will help you grow, will help you change into a greater thing, and maybe into a great person. So I don't want us to handle the positive ones first. I want us to touch maybe 2 or 3 negative sides of technological advancements.
Yeah, so one of the most negative thing about technology, it has separated people.
Yeah.
People are no longer with people.
Yes.
You understand what I say?
I understand.
And also, like, most of us, we work from home with our gadgets.
Yeah.
Not when, you know, Kitambo, people used to like go to offices, go to work, go to this. Yeah, they're still there, but the bigger part is not there.
Yeah, true.
So we have isolated each other, not knowing like we really need each other. Our gadgets cannot be our family.
Yes.
Our gadgets cannot be our friends. Our gadgets cannot be our individual help. You know, we need each other. But now the gadgets have replaced people with people.
Yeah, true. So what is the effect of us being separated or being detached from each other because of the effect of technology and maybe
there's a quote I saw, loneliness kills.
True.
And you know, when you're alone, even if you pass through, and you know, nowadays when you're passing through something, utengia to TikTok. TikTok has memes. So
this is to mean when you go to TikTok, it's like, does that mean it looks like a kind of addiction?
Now that becomes your friend.
Yes. Does it look like addiction? Well, because maybe you are looking for comfort in solace through a means that maybe is not maybe applicable, is not good, is not reliable or dependable to the society. So you want to mean gadgets have brought a big valley between people. Yeah. And there's a bigger effect. Isolation.
And as I've said, loneliness, as I saw somebody had written that quote, loneliness kills. Because when you're in that house, you're passing through stress and you're trying to cope your stress with just watching clips. At the end of the day, what help have you gotten?
So will it kill because maybe you'll get tired watching the TikTok and maybe you switch off to being now lonely.
Depression enters.
And depression enters maybe, and suicidal thoughts come into you. Yeah. And then you switch to the way your spirit is taking you to.
Yeah, and if you're not careful, you're not prayerful, you'll end up dying for nothing.
And maybe you are an introvert. True. You are killing yourself. So this is to tell our audience that maybe TikTok or getting solution or even trying to get yourself from loneliness through going to the internet does not help.
And not everything is good in the social media.
Yeah, true.
You'll get all sort of information, all sort of encouragement, and others are to break you. Others are leading you to do nasty things that are not like good for your health. You know, there's a counselor who said that whatever you feed your soul with, whatever you feed your mind with, whatever even you feed with your stomach with, like that is the outer you. That is what reflects on the outside.
That's true. And that is what makes you grow. Yeah. Because maybe there are several purposes why people take food. That's true. Yeah. Yeah. So the moment you dip yourself into internet and social media, there is a way you are trying to commit a suicide into yourself. Yeah. Because maybe you are trusting it too much, and maybe you are Googling manual for living. which is not helpful. So that's great.
Like there's this, I came across it this morning. There's this lady, I remember, okay, he was addressing boys. And I was like, this is not a good message to the young people. But sisi tuna enjoy, you know.
What was the content?
The content was like, kijana naishi bedsitter na nakwambia umzalie. Like, is that logical?
So what is negative with the bedsitter?
So for her, okay, the guy needs to be up.
Yes.
Like anafaa kuwa financially stable, you know. Anafaa kuwa tu na kakitu yenye hata kwambia umzalie, mtu anakuja kupata bread.
Yeah.
But for her, ana feel bedsitter ni kitu
that's very true, but I think the person who was behind that topic is trying to sway people away from the mainstream of life and maybe what we are supposed to be expecting in life. Because when you remember, some times ago when we were born, you remember maybe we could share a very small room, maybe 5 or 6 of us. So I think that lady above or beyond the topic is trying to sway and to get people out of the context of life.
Yeah, but you know
the
now
basic
life is a process.
Yes.
And maybe right now I want to, you know, social media, you need to look good for the social, for the world.
Yes.
You need, there's a figure you want to portray.
Which may be the figure that you are portraying is not true.
It's not
it's
you.
Not the
you're living a double life. On the social media, you're so clean. When you can slay, when you, like ukona tu like something good in
but
you.
We meet you
but
around town.
Na wewe, now you in reality,
it's like once I meet and know you, it's like you are trying to run away from me.
Yeah, no, that
because
is not the impact
you don't
of
want me
social
to
media.
know the reality of you. Because maybe you are lying to us. You are, it's like you are conning us. You are duping us through the social media. So that's great. So what people should do, or what our audience should do, is that you have to live your life.
Just
don't copy and maybe don't post greater things on WhatsApp or status and maybe Facebook or social media.
You know, Jeff, I can't have your life right now.
True.
Okay, kuna mali life imekufikisha.
True.
You might be having, you have a car,
yes.
you have a good job, and I'm here, I don't have that car, I don't have that life that I see you having.
Yes.
But you took your time. You took your time to create what you have today.
Yes.
I also need to do the same. The difference between me right now and you is just time.
Yes.
I need to trust the process. For right now, the people we are having, the young people we are having, hiyo time ndo hawana, hiyo patience hawana. And that's why you see many girls and boys engaging in so many things in order for them to get quick wealth. Why? Because kuna ile life wameona hapo nje na wanataka.
But picking on that point, purity, we've got a lot of feminism going through.
Oh, okay.
On our ladies. And I'm not changing the topic, but because it is a change. Maybe I'm from high school, transition to college. Then maybe after the first year or second year, I get someone who is trying to sponsor me in one way or the other.
Okay.
So, am I supposed to transition so immediately, maybe from poorness, if we may call it poorness, to richness, or even from a point of having, or a state of having nothing to a point of having something maybe, and the something, the ways and the maybe means that you got that thing. Actually, there are means that you cannot tell people, or you cannot advise someone to go that through. So tell me, why are we having a lot of small college girls being killed anyhow?
Well,
yes,
them being killed, siwezi sema ni kupenda kwao, ama ni kupenda kule mwenye aliwaua. But the problem is, there are circumstances that lead them to engage in such things. In campus. Maybe somebody is coming from a very poor background. Na amekuja campus, ameona people are driving, people are doing this and that. Yet her herself hajaikuwa na such an experience. Akipiga simu home, hakuna pesa. So, what do you expect out of this girl? Amekutana tu na mtu. Huyo mtu, for like, let's take the example of Mweni. She was given 10,000 fare. Imagine msichana kama huyo ajishika 10,000.
But you have to ask yourself, where is this 10,000 taking me? Because it is, it is 10,000 labeled fare, not for shopping.
But let me tell you, Jeff, pesa iko na nguvu. Let me put it like that.
I understand, but
money has power.
Yes.
So the time whom sana ameshika 10,000 na nikituaje shika, truth be told, she'll be confused. she will be overexcited, ataanza kufikiria pesa nitafanyia nini. She won't have a second thought of like, where is this money coming from? Where is this money taking me to? And what am I going to use this money for? Hananga yo akili. Because it confuses, truth be told. That is the reality.
That's true.
But for us, okay, we might judge them, kwa nini ulichukua, kwa nini ulifanya hivi na vile, you know. But we need, okay, they need to be taught. I think there need to be lessons in schools. Like, there's like, trust the process. Hauna pesa kwenyu, but that wealth you want, you can create it the right way. So young girls out there, you need to like trust the process of life. Quick money leads to distraction.
That's true.
It kills. Like, it brings out another thing, and all of us want better lives for our ladies and our girls. It's not our likelihood like to be killed, to say tunataka kukufa. But circumstances force it.
That's
but
very
it can
true.
Be changed
but
also.
This is to me, now this is a cause of a change. Actually, death will be caused by change, because maybe you want to change from one state to another, and that is dreadful. So we can advise our audience that maybe don't rush for greatness. There is time, there is opportunity. So my viewers, thank you so much for listening to us. We are breaking shortly. As we come back, be ready to get and expect more from us, a topic that is so much enlightening. Thank you for watching The Spheres of Life. So welcome back, my viewers. It is The Spheres of Life, and we are now handling the impacts and effects of changes, because maybe we are talking about effects or changes or impacts, because when you come from a place to another, you have to find a difference. You have to find the things that you've been taken through in life. They are different from the one you're finding in this newer place. So we want to know the effects of life, and kindly stay tuned, because this is a topic and a program that is going to help us, because this we do to create great families, to build one another, to build reliable and dependable society. Because if you live alone, you die alone. And maybe if you find an issue that is trying to hurt you, or it is so much hard on you, it is so easy to have the negative thoughts that will lead very closely to your death. And maybe you die before your time is ready, or your time is ripe. So here we want to enter effects of change, because we want to change the society, we want to change families, we want to change the way we live, because there is no way I'm supposed to coil myself into something that is almost killing me, and I know someone close to me can help me. So welcome back, Purity.
Thank you so much, Jeff.
Karibu.
Asante sana.
So can we know the impacts or effects of changes? Very few of them.
Well, the impact may vary depending on the magnitude or the state of the change. It can be emotional. There are people who are emotionally disrupted when change comes, and that is fear comes in, because you don't know what is going to happen in the next stage of your life, or in the next stage of something that is going to change. So our emotions are tampered with, you know. And if you are not careful, depending on the magnitude of the state of the change, we need to like know how to handle the change when it comes. Because if we do not know how to handle it, it may end up affecting us emotionally, physically, and also like in so many ways, you know. And then there's those people who get to change from work. Your behavior changes. You know,
yes.
Now to say leo umekuwa CEO, you won't behave just like a manager.
That's very true. That's very true. That's very true.
You know, if today I have a friend who was promoted, my mentor was promoted to becoming a deputy vice chancellor.
Yes.
Then we used to like greet
and maybe engage with one another.
Like so many things changes.
Yes.
Because now, like you as the CEO right
yes.
now, maybe you were a manager and then you were promoted.
Yes.
The way you used to work, that is not the way you're going to work.
That's true.
The way you speak, it needs to change. It needs to have a lot of professionalism
inside it. Okay.
So also behavioral, like it impacts the behavior of how people handle themselves.
Yes.
And how the behavior comes with the change.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
The other one is social. Some changes come and we depart from people we are used to.
Yes.
To another cycle of life.
Yeah, true.
Today we are friends. Like sahi wale marafiki nilikuwa na hao during my secondary time is not the friends that I have right now.
Yes.
So that social life changes.
And maybe a space between you is created.
Yeah.
That you can reach easily to one another as you used to do
earlier.
Yeah,
but now the interaction won't be the same.
Yeah.
You know.
That's why I'm talking of a valley, a change, or even a drift in the way you used to live.
Yeah.
So again, I know change brings in kind of adaptation or kind of adaptability. How can you adapt to a change? Well, because that is one of the effects, actually the main effects of a change. Because if you don't adapt to a change, maybe you have to break. Let's use the word break. Break, this is to mean you are going against actually the principles and maybe the demands of the change.
Okay.
Yes. So how are you supposed to adapt to a change?
One, with change, you need to accept the change.
Yes.
It has happened, it has happened.
Yes.
So you need now to adapt to the newness of the change and live by it.
Yes.
If there are things to adjust, you can adjust.
Yes.
But accept the change, accept the feelings.
Yes.
And where you need help,
yes,
seek for help.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Another impact of change is disruption.
Okay.
Yes. And remember, my viewers, as we started, we talked about a disruptive change.
And a destructive change.
And a destructive change. Yeah. So here, there is an impact or effect that we call it disruptive. Impact or effect of change.
Yeah.
How can you explain this to our viewers?
How to adapt to a disruptive change.
Yes.
As we said,
or even it brings, or even I may streamline it into this way that a change brings in kind of disruption, that it cuts off a frequency or even a flow of something, or a pattern, a behavior, or an habit. So that's why we mean by it being disruptive.
And that's why we said in our first session, we said that in any disruptive change, it has come. And you know, some disruptive change, like they happen immediately.
Yes.
You don't have to like think about it, to plan about it.
Yeah.
It has already happened. It comes like pop, it may happen. You know. Yeah. So for that one, that's why we were saying when such a change comes, you need help.
Yes.
Don't stay with it. You need help. Speak it out and accept that it has already happened. You can't change the situation.
That's true.
So accept it and talk to somebody and move on.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great input to that.
Yeah.
Change brings innovation. Yes.
Depending with the change, what kind of change that is.
Yeah.
You see now like a promotion, that is so innovative.
Yeah.
Jeff, today you're becoming you're a CEO.
Yes.
Yesterday you're a manager.
Yeah.
So already this thing imekumotivate that you're heading somewhere in life.
Yes.
Your financial status changes. Your social life changes. The people even you interact with.
Yes.
You know, you start interacting with people who are of high level.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, so that's a very innovative change.
So innovation here may mean that someone becomes more innovative, more productive, and maybe more fruitful.
Yeah, and there's a shift and change of mind.
To the society, to the family, and maybe corporate-wise.
Yeah.
That's true. Thank you for that input.
Yeah.
Now, change can also bring resilience. Yes.
Well, you need to be strong for any change.
Yeah.
If you're not resilient, well, change may change you.
Yeah.
instead of you changing it.
So that actually when change changes you, this is to mean that you've not adapted.
You have not adapted to the change.
So the change changing you, this is to mean it is shifting you forcefully to something that maybe you did not expect.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And maybe it disorientates someone from whatever they had planned to do, or even a focus or determination that they have had in life. Yeah. So thank you. Yeah. Change sometimes brings opportunities. Yes, because maybe someone is axed, or someone was working somewhere, maybe the contract is terminated. From there, someone gets an opportunity. So that's still change.
Yeah, that's still
okay,
change.
so talk to us when it comes to that kind of change. An opportunity given by a change.
Are we talking of changing you still?
No.
Come again.
We're talking of a change giving you an opportunity.
Yeah, of course, change comes with opportunities. That's why we were saying, don't let change you, but change the change.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
So if change gives you an opportunity, if it's a positive opportunity, grab it. You know.
What are you supposed to do with the negative one? Because I said
the negative one, you do away with it. You can't
But
live.
sometimes it is so hard for you to avoid the negative changes, because maybe the change is coming, it is negative from the coming. But at the end product becomes a bit positive. And maybe positive. When it is incoming, it looks so negatively knocking you down. So how do you now? Maybe you can never evaluate.
Kama kuachana na rich boyfriend when they a poor boyfriend, not knowing the structure down there. I remember a story that you gave us about this girl who saw you as a poor person. Hakujua mbele, you know. So she never accepted the change. She never accepted you as a poor person. She never knew the change that was coming ahead of you. True. So negative change, well, it depends.
What does it depend?
If you feel convicted
because we
that this
remember,
is something that is going
remember
to grow.
purity, we are enlightening someone there, maybe who is stuck in something, maybe they are transitioning, maybe they don't know how do I transition, and after I transition, how do I settle, how do I adapt?
Okay.
Yes, how do I get used into this new environment? So we have to help, we have to enlighten, we have to give focus into our viewers that change is inevitable, because
in life.
if you avoid change, maybe you avoid growth, you avoid innovations, maybe you avoid great things coming into your life. So that is also another effect of change. And I think this is the last one that I want us to answer. So that because our time is running up shortly, we have to make sure that we enlighten our viewers. We have to make sure the society is growing. So the last effect, it is not the least, it is the last. So change may bring conflict. So when change brings in conflict, maybe in a family setup, in a corporate setup, maybe in a social setup, what are you supposed to do? Now, change has come. It has brought in conflict.
Lot of conflicts and
there is fight, no misunderstanding amongst you. What are you supposed to do?
Now, you as the person who knows that, you know, there are people who usually have the answer. You're in a family and there's a lot of change going on, but there's still conflict. If you're a wise person, call people together, talk about it. Come up with the root cause of the conflict.
And a way to mitigate and maybe navigate through the conflict.
Talk about it. Let people give their own views. Those who are having the conflict, let's say between me and you, we are having a conflict. We need to sit down, talk about it. Like Jeff, ni wapi nimeenda vibaya? Or purity, ni wapi nimeenda vibaya? Talk about it, come up with solutions and know the way forward. There's no better way of resolving such a conflict inside a change. Other than just coming together, speaking it out, and coming with you yourself. Don't look for help out. Yes, it's good to have people outside a second party, but with it not starting with you, it can never happen. The change starts with you yourself as an individual.
Okay, that's great. Yeah, today we've been talking about the spheres of life, and we are handling a great topic, an interesting one to you, a topic that is enlightening people, a topic that is creating great families and societies. So, Purity, can we have your final word for the program today?
Okay, change happens in life. This is life. Every day something new happens. So when change comes, sit down. If it is able to be planned, plan it. And when change comes also, know the kind of change that is happening to you. Adapt to it. If it's not a good change, talk to somebody who can guide you the right way. So, well, the spheres of life, here we are, and we want to like bring back the societies that are full of love and unity and full of encouragement to one another.
Yeah.
That's the kind of...
Thank you so much, Purity, for accepting our invitation. You are welcome next time.
Thank you so much.
You are most welcome.
Thank you.
So, my viewers, this was the spheres of life, and we want to change your life. We talk about everything. We talk about everything that is hurting you in your life. So next time, be ready to listen to us for great encouraging points and programs in life. So don't die alone, because we are our own. There is no way you can live alone. There is no way you can live isolated.
Yeah.
This life is our own, and we can lift one another. A great society is not made or created by one person. It is created by a group and great members of people. So please welcome for next session. We shall be informing and notifying you when it is happening. So the topic has been changed, and your host is Jeff Kimayo.